cross that limit, move to another party overnight.
Okay, let's talk referendum. So this week, the committee of experts is set to present the draft bill to the principals. I think one of the dailies was reporting that it will be made, to be unveiled, made public, but I understand it's to the principals first. Whether, of course, in the past several months, we've not had much from the referendum talk and all, but it's radical changes that are proposed therein. Do you now perhaps have changed tune and think referendum is the way to go to get Kenya in the right place? Maybe you've had a change of heart. You've thought and seen the challenges that face this country. Because just to remind you very quickly, it's about more money to the counties, 45%. Yes. There's NLC being empowered a little bit more. Yes. There's that. There's also the county, the ward development fund that's in there. There's security. There's restructuring of IEBC. Some of the issues that they have in the referendum proposal.
We look at it this way. This constitution has been there. It was 2010 and towards the end of 2010. So we count 2011, 2012, 4 years. We have hardly implemented it. The hiccups and the hallmarks that come with implementing a new institution have actually not been realized. We have not finished with it. So amending it and amending it and amending it will create more and more hiccups before we deal with the other ones. So that part makes me say that it is too early. Amendments would come. They are supposed to come actually. There are certain areas that require to be relooked at. But at what time? For now it is too early. When you talk about...
So when is it the right time according to
Let
you?
us give the constitution a decade or 2 decades.
Really?
Then you look at it as we grow the economy. We are talking about more money. Which money? We raised 1.2 trillion. So more money is going to come from where? Unless we grow the economy, we grow more jobs, the economy becomes bigger, then there's more money.
But what if those things stay as they are or even get worse in those 10 years?
If you remove 45% today as we talk, if you remove 45% today and you send it to the wards in the village for MCAs to eat, the national government will not be able to run. That is a fact. Let us admit it and say, okay, or let us also look at dissolving the national government. Then we go regional. We have small presidents, and then we have one ceremonial president. But all these things, as we talk about the constitution, we must link it with finances. As we talk about the grandiose things the country should do, the MCAs, the ward development, that is okay. Everybody wants it, but we must link it with the national income.
All right, so what gives you that assurance, before I come to you, Senator, that in that 10 years that will be a good time? Because then if you say this particular
we
time,
shall have implemented the constitution fully, crystallized on the issues, the thorny parts, and then within that 10 years, the economy also grows 5, 6, 7, 10%. Maybe Omar shall have come in to grow it at 15%. Then we have a bigger cake. Then we say, now this bigger cake, we have excess. This excess, we...
A lot of that wishful and hopeful thinking.
It's not hopeful. It is a question of economics. For today, we must fund the education. The teachers want money. Even the teachers, we are told, if you are given what you want today, it will take everything. That's why the teachers don't be given the money. So we must link. I agree we can amend the constitution and add everything and give every individual in the street some money, those who are unemployed. The question is, where is the money? Where is it coming from?
Senator.
There's a theory of impossibilities and there's the theory of possibilities, which is the theory of optimists. And I think what's happened is this thing is not being done in a vacuum. Over about 40–50% of the functions that initially resided in national government have been devolved to county governments. There's a realm that resources must follow functions. And therefore it has been felt quite insufficient with this 15% to fund those functions. That's why there's a lot of complaints in terms of service delivery at the county level. And it is this issue about creating a perception that money is being eaten at the county levels. They are accountability machineries. They are MCAs, so to speak. They are anti-corruption authorities. There's the Auditor General's office. There's the Office of Control of Budget. I think we've built in, there's the Senate, there's the National Assembly. We've built in sufficient caveats to ensure that monies that are public resources are managed in a manner that is prudent as per the PFM Act, the Public Finance Management Act. So therefore, what we're saying, in fact, if you want these little counties or these little units to grow, you must make them productive. All of us pay our taxes to the national government. Even national government, even resources of the counties are collected by national government. If these units are to be productive, you need then to capacitate them in terms of meeting some of their priorities, infrastructure, in terms of expanding opportunities for investors to come. These investors don't come from heaven. They have to see that the amenities and the support structures towards investment is created.
Okay.
And therefore, you have to create it at that local level. So what has happened, if you make these units vibrant, if you make them productive, yes, it will be stringent at some point as we begin, because we've taken sufficient resources to the counties.
But shouldn't
these
there
counties
also be
will start becoming productive.
Shouldn't there also be focus? Yes, on one hand, them getting more resources to enable them to grow, and but also, what about them being in and of themselves their own ways of generating that income? Can that also
but you see,
encouraged?
for you to be able to get them to generate that income, let's say what will give the attraction for Mombasa County to attract investors? Certain investments, so that people see there's investment in infrastructure, there is investment in social amenities, in schooling. These are the things that attract people to come and settle to your area. So once this is done, they see there's drainage, there is electricity, there is all these functions that are the domain of both national and county governments. Taken care of. So then I become attracted to that neighborhood, I become attracted to that county. What will make me go and invest in Mandera County? What will make me go invest in Turkana County? Unless I see there's infrastructure, there is a certain level of investment by the county that makes it attractive for me to go there. So these units then will become, what is it called? They'll become competitive and they'll become viable. They'll be contributing more to the national grid. So it's not true in theory to say that you have to wait for 10 years.
Gitao?
I think we don't need the referendum.
Why?
Because we need to give this new constitution time to work. There's no point of spending all that money in the referendum.
But what about where there are challenges in as far as its implementation? There's no perfect constitution in the world.
Yeah, but my view is we give the constitution time to work, and instead of that money being used to fund the referendum, that could go to delivery of public services. There must be other mechanisms to make the already existing mechanisms of government work. Why do we need the referendum?
How much time do you say it needs?
Maybe we look at it in the next 10 years, 5 to 10 years. We see where it's not working, and then
you're following letters.
No, because referendum will use a lot of money, and that's what we don't have. And remember, it's public money.
The cost impact analysis. You just heard we lose how many billions in unpaid taxes.
There's a lot of
other reports about how many billions we lose in tax evasion. There's a lot of other in terms of corruption, in terms of wasteful expenditure. There's so many billions we lose. So to say that 4 or 5 billion in referendum is a lot of money when we know how much we steal, and that will bring 200 extra billion to the counties. For me, the implication
does not pan out.
It's cost effective.
Okay, what I wanted to comment on this, because we must wind up. We have 2 minutes to go. It's a very important worry.